So, something's weird here. We have some weird orientation issue going on. What's up with that? What? Okay, something's really weird going on. Good morning. Bear with me. You don't know what's happening here. Is something screwy on your end? This is very strange. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing today? We're live. Welcome to Homeville Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. I'm going to try to figure this out real quick. I'm not sure what the deal is. Right on. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, I'm fumbling around trying to figure out what is going on here. You guys let me know what you're up to this morning. I don't see anywhere I can change this. Huh. Well, that's weird. Well, let's just dive in. I guess I'll just deal with it. I'm sorry we're apparently vertical this time instead of horizontal. I don't know why. I swear I set that for horizontal. But maybe I didn't. Well, I guess. Let's see, make sure this is set. Hang on, I'm sorry about this. We're just getting everything set. Well, anyway, let's just jump right in. I'll just deal with it. Hopefully it's not too awkward. It is kind of strange on my end, but yeah, I don't know. Beginners, I tell you what, these amateur rookie mistakes. Let's see. Keener Bespoke Guitars. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning to you. Hope your day is going awesome so far. Time Surfing Alien. What up? Says good morning, all. Sam. Good morning, Sam. Robert says hello, everyone. Good morning, Robert. And Mike says good morning, all. Time Surfing says looking for a puzzle piece potentiometer knobs for a build that's to be auctioned off for Autism Speaks in June of next year. Any help or information would be appreciated. Ooh, puzzle piece shaped knobs. Sounds like a custom made thing, but I don't know. I'll keep an eye out. And if I come across something, I'll be sure to let you know. Sam's got an ad. Robert says, there's the man. What's going on? Mike's here. Mike says, looks for doing this on a phone. Well, I usually use my phone. I've been using it for quite a while since the iPad kind of croaked. But there's one setting when I set this up that I have to make sure I check, and I swear I checked it, but apparently I didn't. And that changes it. And if I rotate the phone now, the video is automatically locked to this aspect ratio, so it will not let me continue in the horizontal landscape, whatever you call it. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Huh. So my apologies, but we're going to let the show go on because, well, I don't want to have to stop the stream and start a new one. I mean, we could, I guess, if it's super annoying. You guys tell me. Robert says, you're on your phone. Yes, I am. I am. But it was not my intention to have it set up this way. And Gina's here. Look who made it. Gina says, hi all, made it for the beginning, but I have to leave soon. Well, right on. I'm glad you could stop in for a few. And oh boy. Newbies. Hope your day's going awesome. Hope the rest of your day goes awesome. That's what I mean. Mike says, take care, Gina. Robert says, Gina, good deal. Welcome. Scott's here. Scott says, good morning, Jeff and everyone. Good morning, Scott. How are you doing this fine Wednesday? Big Max, what up? Big Max says, morning, Jeff. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing awesome. A coffee cheers to everyone. I brought this up on the laptop here, so I'm gonna look away for a moment and see if there's any way I can change that here. I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try. I'm hitting the edit button and to see if there's any way to do this. And I'm sorry, I'm looking away. I'm not ignoring you. We're gonna get back in just a second. See if there's any sort of orientation setting here that I can't see on the phone. And I don't see anything. Slow mode? Slow mode? What is slow mode? Interesting. Yeah, I don't see it. So I think we're just gonna roll with it, I guess. I mean, give me just a second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something here. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway, we're just gonna roll with it. Alrighty, let's see. Gina says, this live fits my phone better. Well, not if it's turned the other way, it would fit just fine that way, which is the way I like it, because I feel very claustrophobic, like I'm squished. I like the more open space. Harry Dude's here. Harry Dude says, what's up? Hello all. Harry Dude, how's it going? What are you up to today? What's on your bench? What sort of electrical gear is giving you fits this morning? I mean, yes, this morning for you. Sam says YouTube getting nuts with the ads. 3 unskippable. And had to refresh. Oh boy. Sorry, Sam. Mike says speaker box in the background. Yes. We'll get to that in a moment. Gina says, thanks all. Have a great day. You have a great day too. I'll see you later. Sam says, everyone turn your monitors on their side. It'll be fine. That's what I'm saying, Sam. Just turn it. It's good. It's my mistake. Totally my mistake. Sam says, Gina, hello. Right on. Keener Bespoke Guitar says, at work, trading time for money. And the man, I can't stand it. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Been there, done that. But you got to do it, right? Jimmer says, Jeff reminded Gina today. Yeah, don't you forget. Jimmer, what's going on, man? What are you working on today? What's on your lift this morning? See what I did there? It's not your workbench, it's your lift. Robert says, I may be getting one step closer to finally getting my shop building started. Finally found a surveyor to get my easements figured out, so I know for sure where I can build. Nice progress. That's awesome. Time Surfing says, turn the phone sideways. It will still keep this aspect ratio because apparently this beginner here, this newbie, forgot to select the proper orientation. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to turn it. And I got a warning that says orientation is locked. Rotate device back, and the screen grayed out. It's totally my mistake. Robert says, Jeff, you're not squished. It's just your head. Yeah, I feel squished, like the sides of the video. I don't know. It makes me feel squished, yeah. Jimmer's got a 67 Camaro on the lift. Nice. Right on. Always the cool stuff there at the shop. Well, maybe not always, but you seem to get a lot of cool stuff there to work on, and that's pretty cool. I did pass on the information for my buddy who's needing some work. Don't know if he'll go that route or not. I haven't heard back from him, but I'm trying to send him your way. There's Paul. Paul's here. Paul says, greetings all. What's going on, Paul? How are you doing this fine Wednesday morning? Robert says, howdy, Paul. Mike, the walls are closing in. It's what it feels like. Yep, it does. Oh, well, it's my fault. My promise to you is I will try to do better next time. And not make this mistake. Corey says, today I got 2 doctor's appointment back to back. Oh, man. I hope they go good. Glad he could make it in between appointments or whatever. But how are you doing today, Corey? Excuse me. Mike says, everyone needs a smaller shop. Well, I instantly got a smaller one right here in this live. Whoops. Yeah, so what are you guys all working on? What sort of projects? We got a few. I want to hear what else. So around here, let's see. What was I working on yesterday or last week? I think I was getting ready to. I just finished the diesel heater, going through that, which was the video for last week. Got that all serviced, and I haven't had to use it yet, but ready for the cold weather, which is it's getting here. Oh boy, Harry, dude, you should be excited because I know that means the warm weather is heading your way. So I got that done, and then I had to rebuild the carburetor on my lawnmower. I think that's what I talked about last week. So I was doing some mowing, and it just started running horribly, like really bad. It has never run as bad as it did last week. So ended up getting the kit, going through and rebuilding the carburetor on that lawnmower. Did a video on that. That's going to be the video for this weekend. And now it runs great. It runs actually probably better than it ever has. For a lawnmower, right? It's not some race car engine or something like that, but it just got to where it wouldn't run. I had to almost have the choke on just a little bit to keep it running. And if I brought it anywhere below high, the highest RPM, the throttle, if I brought the throttle back down, it would instantly die. Like something inside there was plugged, and it was really bad. So got that all rebuilt, and it's working awesome. Was able to finish doing the mowing that I needed to do. So this weekend, if you need to rebuild a carburetor on your lawnmower, I tried to go as in depth as I could with that. So and I feel pretty good about that, about the process. So that's coming up this weekend, and then after that, the last few days, as you can see in the background, been working on this guy, little speaker box. I haven't built a speaker box in probably, oh man, it's probably been 15 years. So just got that wrapped up. I'm actually waiting on the speaker. It's supposed to be here anytime. I mean, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the delivery man pulls in while we're hanging out. So just got to get the speaker in there and then get that put back in the vehicle. These things are, I've always enjoyed making stuff like this. I've always enjoyed messing with like car audio stuff, and that's what this is for. Not for any sort of competition type stuff, or because I want to be heard 3 blocks away with like the bass. This is a subwoofer box. That's not the point, but the point is I love to listen to music. and I feel that a subwoofer, just adds that low end, and that's what I like. And the box that's in the vehicle right now, it is, it's bad. It was one that I built for a 10-inch sub, and then that something happened to that, blew up, or something poked a hole in it, because I always seem to forget the grill. So then I swapped it out for a 12, which requires a different size box, but the box wasn't sized appropriately. It was a whole mess. It sounded really bad. So we're fixing that with a new box and a properly sized, the airspace has to be correct and all that sort of stuff. So just a little bit left to film for this video, and then we'll be wrapping this project up. Hopefully today. Like I said, the speakers should be here very soon, and we'll get to some new stuff, or get this wrapped up and get on to some more projects. Let's see. Paul says, my ankle repair surgery canceled. Doctor passed away. Got to find someone I can trust. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. That's never good. Yeah, especially when you got something like that planned. Man, what a bummer. And Sam with the super chat. Let's see if the thing works this time. Look at that. First try on the button. Right on, Sam. Thank you. He says, don't forget to like. It's totally free. And you are 100% correct. And a coffee cheers, Sam. Thank you. I appreciate it. Time Surfing Aliens is just trying to stay out of this Alabama heat. Stay hydrated, my friend. Harry Dude says, yep, getting warmer here. Not complaining at all. I didn't think you would be. Robert is going to be heading to Stillwater, Oklahoma after the stream to pay both car and home insurance. Ouch. Ooh, oh boy. Harry's here, says about the 2 fabric top dinky bodies. Oh, right on. Dinky butt, yeah, the Jackson. Love the channel. Keep it up. Right on. Thank you. That's awesome. Sounds like a couple of cool projects. Nice. Very cool. What are you using for, well, for both are you just using like a normal fabric? And also, what are the bodies made of? And are you doing the epoxy and then squish the fabric into there and more epoxy on top, or what's your process? I've been thinking about doing a fabric top. I think that'd be kind of cool. Not something I've done, but I've seen some pretty cool looking fabrics that I think would really look neat on a guitar. That's cool. But we need more information. We like the details around here. Alrighty, so this thing is still throwing me off. It's messing with my brain. I don't understand what's going on. So my apologies if I seem to space out for a second. I still feel like I can fix this, but I don't think I can. I think I'm done for. The wind is picking up. I better shut that window. Apparently we've got some storms coming in later, and it does kind of feel that way. A little bit of a coolness in the air, and yeah, the wind is definitely blowing. So we'll see if we get some rain later. So yeah, so this little guy was a fun little project. Like I said, I haven't done these in a very long time. So I kind of trying to, remember some of this stuff. My least favorite part of this, and maybe you guys have some tips, is the upholstery. I almost decided to go with like a paint or some sort of like I've seen guys use like that bed liner stuff you can get, that at home truck bed liner stuff. Almost went with that just because I did not want to do this upholstery. And I'd show you the sides, but they're not great. There's way too many seams, and I don't know. Tips and tricks. If you guys have any experience with upholstery type stuff, I'd love to hear. Kind of your top tips. And it seems like the stream has died. Are we still live? It's doing weird stuff. Can you guys still hear me? I hope so. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, it is, but okay, this is weird. And actually, it's a good thing I have the laptop up. The comments stopped right here on the phone, but I can see them down here. So, though this is very strange. I've never seen this happen before. All right, so I'm gonna have to read comments on here. Time Surfing says, I haven't built speaker boxes since high school, graduated in 84. Yeah, and that's kind of the way I am. I haven't done it for a really long time. I have done it since high school, but I definitely built a lot more in the high school area, or high school time frame. But yeah, it's been at least 15 years since I built the last one. Heritage says the dinky bodies, as in Jackson dinkies. Yes, that's what I took it as. Magnus is here. Magnus says, what type of music do you listen to with the boombox? Well, I don't listen to one specific genre of music. I listen to all kinds of stuff, really. A lot of different a whole wide range. And this isn't because, I want to be heard, bumping while I'm going down the road. It's not that sort of thing. I just want that low end. I just want that full range. So my music styles are all over the place. So again, this is not for any sort of, I don't know, record breaking competition type setup. It's just because I have a subwoofer on almost every audio system. I have a subwoofer on my computer, subwoofer for the TV. I just like that extra low end, and that's all. That's all this is for. Just to kind of enhance that bass. Because for me, I feel that that could help. How do I explain that? I think that that those sub bass frequencies are pretty important in music to me, and I want to be able to hear them better. And my current setup is no good. So yeah, I'm all over the place with my styles of music. Mike says next we'll be playing with the shocks to get more bounce with the sub. No, we definitely will not be doing that. Time someone says loud music, I guess. I do like some loud music. I really do. Paul says, working on a left strap, taking a bit because I'm not used to building it. Finding the mirror a good stable position in a small shop is difficult at best. Nice. A lefty. Yeah, it's weird, right? If it's not something you normally do, trying to do something opposite. I've told a million times that I have a guitar that it was intended to be a righty, but because my brain didn't recognize the fact that I had something flipped when I started drilling holes, and I ended up making it a lefty. So yeah, it can be challenging, but I think it's awesome that you're building one, because like I've said before as well, a lot of guys won't. They just won't do it because it's too weird. Now I feel fairly comfortable being able to take whatever, to build either way. I feel pretty good. I just have to make sure that I really am focusing on the certain, on a couple of aspects, a couple of steps, to make sure that I don't accidentally flip something and make it the wrong way. But that's awesome. Paul says, just did a fabric top with the Day of the Dead sugar skull epoxy to it. Nice. Oh, the sugar skulls are cool. And this is weird. I got to look over here for the comments. Mike says, Jeff, go and pimp his ride. No, that's not. No, we're not. I just want it to sound better. Paul says, put wooden inserts to cover the seams. Also dresses it up. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. Harry says, I just use regular cotton fabric, wood glue it down, epoxy over mahogany body blanks. May experiment with polyester resin since I have it on hand. For final finish, I'll spray 2K. Right on. That's cool. Robert says, I lost my connection for a short time, but I see you again. I'm glad we're back, Robert. Magnus says, loud and clear. Right on. Yeah, see, so normally I have the comments just scroll up on my phone screen, but they stopped. The last one is when Harry was saying he's making the fabric top dinky bodies. That's the last comment, and none of the others will show up. How weird is that? Boy, this is a day of weird stuff. Robert says, oh, and there, Robert's back. Magnus loud and clear. Heritage says, I carpeted 4 PA subs and hated doing it. I now do my speaker boxes in textured paint. Yes, that's what I was going to look at. I think it is Duratex. No, that's the actual speaker paint. I did look at that, but I couldn't find anything like that locally. I'm considering Tolexing a little single 12 guitar cab. Maybe a little crazy. Yeah, I don't know what it is about doing that sort of stuff. I don't know all the, the tricks and tips and tricks. I did a little bit of research a few days ago, just on that whole upholstering process, and I thought I picked up a couple cool tips, but I tried it on this, and honestly, I think it made it worse. I think I'd have been better off going with what I was originally going to do, and almost try to put separate piece on the sides. So, yeah, it's not great. There's a big ugly seam over here, but it's going to be fine for what it's for. Like I said, it's not for any sort of show or competition or anything fancy. It's just going to sit in the back of the car, and it's going to be fine. But yeah, 4 PA subs, I don't know. There's just something about it. I think really it's just one of those processes that I don't know enough. I don't know well enough to be able to do everything really good for that. But for me, this is the face that you're going to see. This side's going to be up against the side of the vehicle, and this side is, well, you're just not really going to see it. So I'm not too worried about it. Let's see. Mike says, Uncle Doug has a great video on placing leatherette on a box, working seams, etc. I might have to look that up. I was at the store yesterday. Yesterday morning, I ran to the store just to look at, trying to find this particular carpet. But I was looking at some other types of fabric, and they had some that was like a leatherette. And I thought it would actually be really cool to put on this. And I almost bought a piece, but I ended up going with the carpet for some reason, but I think that would have been really cool. But I'll have to look that up, because I need some tips and some methods for doing the seams. Time Surfing says, I always use contact cement to attach the upholstery. I did use contact cement, but it was the spray, the spray adhesive, spray contact cement. I used the 3M, not the 77, which I've used in the past, but I used the 90, which is a high strength, high tack, whatever. Everything seems to be stuck down good. I'm not too worried about that. It's mainly just my seams. That's the hard part for me. Keener says, I'm a Dave Matthews Band nut. Actually, I'd call it a obsession. Oh, that's cool. I have actually seen them in concert. This is back in the 90s. 90, I don't remember exactly. 97, 98, something like that. I don't even remember exactly where it was. Somewhere in New York State, I think. Maybe it was Pennsylvania. I don't know. Somewhere, it was a little bit of a drive from where I lived. I don't remember which direction, but yeah, it was pretty cool. That was back when they had all kinds of stuff on the radio at that time. Robert says, my connection's flaky today. I lost it for a short time, then got it back. It's now buffering every short bit. Huh. I'm sorry you're having trouble there, Robert. Robert says, I'll back up the progress bar on the bottom. It starts up and goes on. Oh, Paul says, I had a buddy build a speaker box and did it the wrong way. He flocked it. What a mess. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine flocking an entire box. That's something else I haven't done. Man, I don't think I've used any actual flocking stuff since high school wood shop. Man, so that's been a while. I don't think I've flocked anything since. I thought the process was super cool. I don't remember what we made, but I feel like it was a little, I don't know, jewelry box or something. I don't remember what it was, but I remember doing it. I'll have to work that into a project at some point. Just something I haven't done in a long time. But what a mess that would make, trying to do the whole box. Ugh. No seams, but very messy. Yes, I can only imagine the mess that came out of that. Magnus says, use fur to cover it. Would probably hide the seams well. Think Billy Gibson's. Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, it would. Because if your seams are a little wonky, you got the fuzz from the fur, and it would just blend together. That's a good idea. And has anybody ever seen a furry speaker box? I'm sure someone's done it, but yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Sam says, perhaps make a guitar-shaped microphone stand. That'd be kind of cool. I built a microphone stand a long time ago, not in a video project or anything, but it was when my my original band was doing, we were playing a lot, and I mean a lot. But I made one out of chain. You've probably seen other people with it, but I took a piece of chain, hung it from the ceiling, and welded every single link all the way down, and then took an actual microphone stand, cut off the microphone, the threaded part, welded that to the top, and then as well as the bottom, so it would screw onto a regular, round microphone base. And man, we used that thing for years. And I wonder if our singer has it. I wonder if he still has it. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Just, it was just all about trying to do things that, some of the other bands weren't doing. Like all this, try to be as original as possible. And that was a cool stand. But that took some time welding each link, in a couple spots all the way down. And then I remember at one point, somehow we broke one of the welds, because it got used really hard. And then trying to go back and re-weld it and fix it up, that was tricky. Here dude says, if your seams are on the edge, 3D print some corners to cover them up. Unfortunately, I'd watched some videos and they were doing some different techniques, and I thought that would work. And so they're not right on the edge. But maybe I could. It would definitely cover some of it. 3D print some corners. It would cover some of the. Maybe I will. Oh yeah, you can see that. Oh, you can't. You can see the seam right there. I'm happy with. There's a seam on the bottom. That's the only one that came out really good. But the rest, yeah, not so much. But yeah, maybe some aluminum channel. I keep thinking I got more screen here. I don't. Some aluminum channel might be all right, or just some black 3D printed stuff. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see about that. Donna's here. Donna says, coffee up. Coffee up, Donna. Good morning. It tastes really good today, too. You guys ever get that? Some days it's much better than others. Let's see. MY Fun says hi. Good morning. So I'm having some weird, if you're just tuning in, I got some weird stuff going on here. One, my screen's locked this way, probably because I didn't select the right setting when I set up the stream. And also the comments are not working here on this device, so I have to have the laptop down here to look down. I don't like having to take my eyes off of it, but it's the only way I can read the comments. Harry Dude says, fuzzy speaker box? Murph and the magic tones. That'd be funny. Robert says, I have 2 different Bose 3-speaker computer setups on 2 computers. Bought them used because they're discontinued. Worked for a few months, then both stopped working within a week or so. Oh man, that's no fun. No fun at all. Yep, my computer speakers last fall basically finally died. They were like 20 years old. It was just a standard set of computer speakers. I don't even know what kind they were. They were decent and they sounded pretty good. Had a little subwoofer and a couple of, little left and right satellite speakers. They finally died, and last fall I had to replace them, and I'm now using a set of studio monitors. So I have studio monitors and then the subwoofer. Man, what a difference between listening on just normal speakers. Like you're using actual studio monitors to where everything sounds like it's supposed to sound, right? Studio monitors are not made to enhance bass. They're not made to enhance any sort of frequency. They're made to be a very flat response rate, which is great for things like video editing or, any sort of obviously music production. But I really like them because everything, I can get a better idea of making adjustments for, equalization and all that stuff. And just listening to stuff on there. When I listen to music on these now, it is incredible. I wouldn't trade those for nothing. I should have done that a long time ago. Fuzzy speaker box. I'm still thinking about that. Paul says, I installed a very nice stereo and amp in a car in the early 80s and blew the stock speakers when I cranked up Rush's Tom Sawyer. Right on. Yeah, I used to really, for a short time, probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, I really kind of got into car audio for a little while. And, the car I had at the time had probably one of the best sounding stereos that I've ever had, and nothing I've had since then has been able to even match it. It just, I don't even remember what all it had, but it had aftermarket. I mean, pretty much everything was aftermarket head unit, aftermarket door speakers, component speakers, and then I had a subwoofer in there. But this was just a single 10-inch subwoofer. This one had 2 10s in a bandpass box. And man, it just sounded so clean and clear. That was one that you could turn up and hear coming up the road. Again, it is not my goal for a car audio system, but this one would do that. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. But I've blown more than a pair or two of factory speakers back in the day. Not so much now, but yeah. We used to back then. The big thing that, at least in my area, were those truck boxes. You can buy the truck boxes with the speaker, and they had the tweeter, and it wasn't really a bass thing. It was just loud. How loud can you make your stereo? That was a thing for a while. So you'd drive around, and instead of bass, like a lot of times now you'll just hear bass, coming up the road. We want everyone you're driving past to be able to hear your music, like in its entirety, not just the bass, but it was, if the neighbors can't hear it while you're driving up the road, then it wasn't loud enough. And that's how we rolled for a little while, and probably partly why I can't hear that and lots of live shows. But I do enjoy messing with it, and I do like a stereo that sounds good. Paul says, I competed in car stereos when I was in the Navy. Favorite head unit was made by Macintosh. Really? Had access to a spectrum analyzer and use it to tune the system. Wow, I didn't even know Macintosh made a head unit. That's pretty cool. The ones I used to like the best, of course, everybody has different opinions and, on what they like and don't like, but the ones that I always had the best luck with were those Sony Explode. You remember those Explode head units? Man, I used to like those. Every one I've had, which has been several, has always sounded really good. And as far as I know, they don't make those anymore, but they were super good. Hopefully I don't get like copyright or something for saying Explode, but I'm talking about car stereos. Paul says the top of the truck's metal would ripple when the bass kicked in. Nice. It says, now just my bike pipes are loud. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I like loud stuff. He says, not Apple Macintosh stereo systems. Yeah, I mean, either one. I haven't heard of them. I don't remember a Macintosh. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. So I'm looking at the timer that's on here compared to the timer that came up on the YouTube thing, so I can read your comments. And it looks like there's about 30 second delay. That's weird. Sam says workshop means needs a coffee vending machine. It'd be full of dust. Did you watch the video that I just did about rebuilding the diesel heater? Did you see all the dust that came out of that? That would be in my coffee machine. And Jim says, I remember House of Pain. Yeah, some jump around. Yeah. I'm going to have to play that when I get this hooked back up. I don't like this having to look away, but it's what we got. Robert says, yeah, the subwoofer is completely sealed with no easy way to open them to see if I could repair them. They have a cable remote, volume control. Yeah, I've seen those, the little thing. Technical term. Yep. Mine now, my computer speaker sort of has that because in order to make the studio monitors work, I have to run them through an audio interface, which I didn't really have before. So now I have, it's not a puck, but I do have I'm keep holding it up. I do have a separate control now for that. Marduk says, hi, are you selling those denatured alcohols at your back? Oh, these up here? No, I am not. There's just all kinds of different stuff up there. It's just kind of where I end up storing some of these things. Yeah, denatured alcohol. I got, I don't know what, mineral spirits. That's lacquer thinner. Yeah, and mineral spirits. It's, I don't know how that became like the storage area, but it just did. But no, that's not for sale. It's just where I store them, I guess. Sam says, and what's wrong with dusty coffee? Oh, well, I got a feeling, Sam, that that just wouldn't taste right. Magnus says, all the talk about upholstery got remembering that me and a friend made some boxes to house his 6x5 speakers in the back shelf of his Volvo 740 and ended up upholstering them in black garbage bags. Interesting. Well, that would be that's one way to do it. What did that look like? Because that, you'd get sort of a glossy look, I would imagine. Not something I would have thought of, but now I'm thinking about it. You'd get like that glossy, almost like an acrylic kind of look if you could get it to lay flat. Interesting. I like that. Magnus says, very 80s Eastern Bloc. I like that. That's different. I like the different. I like ideas that are different, and that one's different because it's not one I'd thought of. Marduk says, sorry, no reason to apologize. It's all good. Not a problem at all. Jimmer says, always had the Pioneer or the old jukebox speakers inside 5-gallon pails, and it ticked off a lot of people with way more expensive systems. Spent my money on drivetrain. Yes. Yeah. Just use what you got. It's pretty much how we rolled. Yeah. I remember, like just trading for stuff here and there and using scrap pieces of wood, which, at that time I had quite a bit around, had access to. So yeah, just like digging through the scrap pile, building speaker boxes and use what you can to make stuff work. Nothing wrong with that. So what's next? Upcoming projects after this. Like I said, I got a little bit of filming left here. This will be wrapped up, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to jump into next at the moment. I do have a commission project coming up that I need to get started on. I'm still waiting on some artwork and stuff like that before I can really jump in. But might be starting in on that pretty quick. Hopefully I can get some of the artwork before long. But it's gonna be pretty fun, and it's gonna be probably one of the bigger projects, not size wise, but just the scope of the project is pretty good size. So I'll be jumping into that pretty quick. We'll get more details as things get closer. It's not a guitar, but it's gonna be a pretty involved project, and it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna involve quite a lot of stuff, some woodworking, some laser engraving. I'm not sure yet if it's gonna be CNC or 3D printing. I'm thinking it's gonna be 3D printing. Everything kind of getting combined into one. So it should be pretty awesome. But I just got a few other things around here. I'm trying to wrap up stuff that needs to be done before cold weather sits in, like the heater. I needed to go through and get that thing done. The lawnmower. I can't mow my grass if it wasn't running, so I had to get that done. And just stuff like that, stuff in general. Since kind of over the summer, I was really well, it's still summer, I guess, but the first part of this year, I was really focusing on working on those bases. Spending a lot of time with the modeling and prototyping and stuff like that. So there was a lot of these little projects that just needed to be done, but I didn't get to because I had tunnel vision trying to get that, trying to get those bass guitars done. But now that they're done, I'm trying to get caught up on some things, which actually has been kind of nice. Just doing some random stuff, doing a little bit of mechanical stuff, which I haven't done in a while, and I really enjoy. Let's see. Jim says, yes, the barter system was and still is our way. Yep, I don't get to do quite as much bartering like that as we used to do. We used to do it all the time. Oh yeah, I'll trade you a carburetor for a set of speakers, or I'll trade you this intake manifold for whatever, and I'll trade you this old motor for a dirt bike, and oh yeah. I don't get to do a whole lot of that anymore, but once in a while there's a couple people that I do get to do that with, which is kind of nice. I'll trade you this board for this board, and we'll just swap stuff, which is fun. Edgelight's here. Edgelight says, I almost missed it again. Yes, but almost. You didn't. And I'm glad. Welcome. Hope you're doing great today. Don't mind the weird orientation here. I goofed. Magnus says, nice. From a distance. Oh, you look nice from a distance through a tinted back window. Yeah, see? It's fine. That's why I'm not worried about the seams on this guy. Like I said, the edge you're going to see is perfectly fine. The sides, not great, but it's fine. Paul says, I have plans if you want to make a cello. I don't know about a cello. My daughter has asked for a violin on more than one occasion. Do I know anything about a violin? Nope. I mean, I know it's made out of wood. It's got 4 strings. And you play it, well, I guess it's like this. So that might be, I don't know, it might be kind of fun to make. Dr. Petrovich says, hi friends, what is the topic today? About a nice sound system? Well, I mean, we don't really have a particular topic, but we are talking about stereos and that sort of thing because I just finished building this little sealed subwoofer box for an upcoming project video. And, a lot of times around here, we just end up going down a road. And right now we're on the stereo road, so we can talk about stereos, we can talk about whatever. Open conversation, and that's what I like. Let's see. Harry Dude says, I've always liked Pioneer car audio, had multiple speakers and head units from them, and have always been happy with them. I don't know if I've ever used a Pioneer, maybe once. Right now, my current vehicle has a Kenwood, and I would say that is probably my least favorite one that I've ever used. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the speakers. I don't know if it's the system in general, or if it truly is the head unit. I just don't think it sounds very good, and which really kind of bums me out. And the only reason I went with that is because I couldn't find the Sonys that I used to use. So I'm not knocking this Kenwood necessarily, but I just don't think, I'm not as happy with it as I wish I was. Let's just leave it at that. Sam says you can make a jigsaw section stage system with YouTube channel name on it. I've thought about that before. There's actually something like that on my list of projects. I don't know where it would ever use it, but building some sort of portable stage thing. I don't even know where that came from or why I wanted to do that. But yeah, it seems like it'd be cool. Sort of like, just a small stage riser that like folds up or comes apart or something like that. Like I said, I don't have anywhere to use it at the moment, but something like that would be kind of fun. Robert says it's a flat surface for things to get set on them. That's what the cans are on the top shelf. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't like flat surfaces, like tables and things. They just get piled with stuff. I always got to clean them off. Jim says, yeah, it's usually trade work for something anymore. Yeah, I've done a little bit of that too. Edgelight says, I'm going to be making a cigar box violin. Edgelight, I like that. That sounds cool. That sounds like something I could even do. I don't have to learn how to build an entire violin yet. Huh. Can you see the smoke coming out? I like that idea. Very cool. Maybe I should try that. Sam says, making guitars? Are there strings attached? Ah, I see what you did there. Let's see. Robert says, back in high school, I had an old radio that I added an external speaker to. Found an old oil-soaked car speaker at a junkyard. Surprised it sounded real good. Just built a plywood box to house it. You know, Robert, when I remember doing basically the exact same thing when I was, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe something like that. I remember finding some junk, or, you know, I don't know if they weren't junk because I still used them. Some unused car speakers like that. And I mounted them in a box, not even in a box. It was just, I cut a hole in the board. I don't even know how I did that, but I did. And mounted these speakers in there and modified something. Oh, you know what? I think I took an old pair of headphones that I could plug into my Walkman at the time. You know, the little Walkman, little tape Walkman. And I could plug the Walkman into these car speakers. Now, they didn't go very loud because the Walkman didn't have much power to run them. But I remember playing music through those. And that's something that I hadn't thought about in years. So thanks for helping me relive some old memories. Jimmer says, never know. Haley one-off cello and violin may be worth a lot someday. Maybe. It just might. Let's see. Cheryl Mason says, at what frequency should I set my subwoofer? Because I want my main speakers to play mid-bass and my subwoofer only plays low frequency. So I can't specifically tell you a frequency off the top of my head. But what you're going to need in order to do what you're trying to do is some sort of a crossover, right? So a crossover is going to is going to basically split at certain frequencies. A lot of times you can adjust what frequency that is. So by having a crossover, and you may not need a separate crossover, let me just say, because the head unit that I have in my vehicle has built-in crossovers. So it'll, depending on where you set it, let's just for fun say, you know, it's at 80 hertz. So it'll take all the 80 hertz and below and send it to the subwoofer, and everything above will go to your main speakers. And then really from there, as far as what frequency, you know, I just go by ear and kind of what sounds good to me, you know, and that is it's subjective, right? So what sounds good to me may not sound good to you. I'm not going to say, oh, you have to set it to this sort of number. But in order to send just the lows to the subwoofer and the rest to your other speakers, you need a crossover of some sort. Like I said, mine has one built in, and I think probably a lot of them do, but I don't know that for a fact. But the crossover will send the lows to the sub from there. And even from there, the amplifier that I have also has a crossover. So if I don't have a crossover on the head unit, I can adjust the crossover frequency at the amp to where it's only going to put the lows to the sub. I don't know if that helps at all, but that's my 2 cents. I'm not going to recommend a specific frequency because there's a lot of variables in there. You know, how your system's set up, what your speakers can handle, and what sounds good to you, and you know, hopefully that helps a little bit. Drizzy Guitars, what up? How's it going? Tony's here. Tony says, morning, sunshine. Better late than never. Right on, Tony. Welcome. A coffee cheers. Juicy Guitars. Cheryl says, thank you very much, mister. You're very welcome. I know it wasn't a specific answer, but like I said, it's subjective. What sounds good to one person may not sound good to another person. And I always like to take that into consideration. Harry Dude says, when setting up my PA subs, I cross them over at 80 to 90. Keeps the kick drum in the subs and vocals in the mid highs. Yes. Yeah, I feel like the 80 to 90 range is a pretty decent range. But like I said, it's all subjective. Varies some. So I play with the frequency range quite a bit. I'm hoping this is going to solve some of that problem because I'm not dealing with a blown up speaker in a box that's not sized correctly. This one is as close as I can get it sized properly for the sub that's going in there. So I'm hoping that the sound will be much better. But again, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be, at least the speaker won't be blown up. So I got that to look forward to. Paul says, I had way too much money involved when I started competing stereos, but eventually got a sponsorship that made all the difference. Paul, that's awesome. So you were in it, and that's cool. I thought about, for this project, reaching out to a couple companies to see if somebody wanted to, sponsor the video or something. But it came down to, I just need to get this done. And, then when you have a sponsorship, I don't know. I just feel better not having a sponsorship, although it would be cool. This one is totally not sponsored, even though, I will be referencing some brand names in here, but totally not sponsored. But that's awesome, Paul. Do you still have any contacts from that time? That'd be kind of cool if you did. Sam says, Jeff's an absolute legend. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Game Shark. No, thank you, my friend. We are not going there. Not somewhere. That's not what this channel's for. Paul says, no, been 30 years. That's awesome, though. It's like, yeah, so you were right in the thick of it. Man, have you seen any of those competition deals recently? Some of that stuff is totally insane now. Like the systems and setups that people have. Holy moly. Paul said, oh, never mind. I already read that. Game Shark says, my bad. Do any scroll sawing? That's okay. We're just, that's not what this page is for. So scroll sawing, I was really into scroll sawing for quite a while. Man, it's probably been 10, 12 years ago, probably. And I really was starting to get into it, making some pretty cool things, but it's not something I've done recently. I still have my scroll saw, but I don't do a whole lot of it nowadays. Not for any particular reason, but it just hasn't been something I've worked on. Do you do scroll sawing? Because man, there's some cool things you can do with a scroll saw. Magnus says, I don't know how you've assembled the box, but could you perhaps dress the sides separately so that the seam would run straight up with the panel? If you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, I do. So what my original plan was to do a separate piece on the side, basically. And honestly, I feel that if I had done that, I probably would have got much better results, but it also would have used a lot more material. So by the time I put my carpet on here, I had a lot of overhang that was plenty to wrap. I'm sorry. I had a lot of overhang that if I'd wrapped it a little differently, I think I would have had a better end result. Or if I'd have just cut it off, and used those pieces to just wrap the sides, that would have probably been better too. But just not, like I said, I don't have any good techniques locked up in my brain for that sort of thing. You know, looking back, I just did this yesterday, just carpeted it, but I can already say that, you know, I should have done it a little bit different, but that's okay. I mean, now I know how I'm not going to do it the next time in 15 years from now when I have to build another one. But yeah, it's just live and learn, I guess. I'm not upset with it. I just know that I could have done better if I did it a little different. It's how I learn stuff. Cheryl Mason says, I got a stupid question. Why subwoofer can't play high bass notes, only low notes? It's not a stupid question. So no need to say that. So there's a few reasons. Now, I will preface this by saying I'm not a car audio professional, let's just say. I just like to build cool stuff. So, but my limited knowledge, and maybe some of you could give some input if you have any. A lot of the notes, you know, so the range of notes, there's a few different factors that will determine where the frequencies that the thing plays back. The first off, of course, is the crossover, which you asked about. So depending on where it's set, you know, you low pass and high pass, different cutoffs are going to they're going to change the sounds that come out of that speaker. But another thing that, based on my limited understanding of how this stuff works, is if you have is the box itself, right? So if the speaker that I'm putting in here is made, or is let's see, they say it can be a certain range of sizes from like 0.59 cubic feet up to 0.75 cubic feet. The way I understand it is that the larger the box within that range, the lower the notes, right? So you can, a lot of this stuff has to be tuned to kind of work together. And you can find a lot of that information in the manual and stuff for the particular speakers that you're using. If you can find it, you know, the manual, like the one that I have, you know, gives me all the specs. It says, you know, from this box range is where it's optimum. Also, if it's a sealed box versus a ported box, if you've got, this is a sealed box, but if you're building a ported box, you can tune that port to different frequencies. There is actually an overwhelming amount of information. Like this in itself, just building boxes and stuff, you could probably spend, I don't know, you could go so in depth with it, and it can get so complicated. But a lot of that stuff makes a difference with the notes that you're going to get out of that speaker and out of that box. So, you know, maybe I would look at, first I would check the crossover and that sort of thing, you know, and make sure that you're not limiting what the speaker is being sent. Also maybe check the specs, you know, see where the box is. If you're running it in a sealed box, make sure the box is actually sealed. This one I've gone through, all the seams are caulked and sealed. It's like, it's going to be basically as airtight as I can get it, because if you got air leaks, the box isn't sealed. And if it's designed to work in a sealed box, that makes a difference. Game Shark says, what scroll saw you're running? So the saw that I have it's an older Craftsman saw. Nothing fancy. I don't know how old it is, early 2000s or something like that. You know, it's not like, I forget some of the super fancy ones. Some of them are super awesome. This one works great when I use it. But yeah, just a Craftsman. MP Custom Guitar says, when will be the next guitar you're going to make? You know, MP, that's a great question, and one that I, at this exact moment, don't have an answer for. Since I completed the bass, the two bass guitars, my goal right now is I need to get those out, and I kind of want to get some feedback on those and kind of promote those a little bit locally here. I'm going to take it out to some shows. Some of my friends, play in some different bands. I want to take them out and see if, have some people play them. Just get some feedback from actual musicians who play bass, not myself. Just to give me some ideas moving forward. But I'm always thinking about what the next build is going to be. I'm not sure at the moment. I've got ideas floating around for another acoustic. I've got some ideas floating around for another cigar box guitar. I've been thinking about doing some changes, maybe potentially to the Haley Guitars Tonic model, which is the first model. A couple things I might modify on that. I don't know yet. So I don't know. But if there's something you want to see, I welcome the suggestions. A lot of times, different ideas spark and help influence what I'm going to be working on. Paul says, when I was competing, they really emphasized powerful bass, and the lower the frequency, the bigger the wave and more powerful. Higher frequencies have shorter wavelength, less power. It says human range hearing is 20 to 20,000 hertz. Game Shark says the larger the box. That's what she said. Sam says, imagine making a powerful bass speaker inside an enclosed rocking chair with ear height speakers for a personal sound experience. Or would the bass make the rocking chair rock uncontrollably? No, I think it'd be like one of those massaging chairs. Robert says, we have something to cover and protect the speaker in this box. Yes, Robert, that is an awesome question because, yeah, the reason I'm in the boat that I'm in with the current setup is because I had no grill over this. And I throw things in the back. I throw wood in the back. I throw things in the back, and it just slams on the speaker and has destroyed it over the years. So with the speaker, there's a grill. I ordered the grill for it, which was weird because you have to order the grill separate. But so yeah, once I get the speaker in there, a grill will go on to protect it because I don't want the new one to get destroyed. So absolutely we'll have a grill on it. Daniel, so lick the wood for good luck. Sawdust or splinters in your tongue. Oh, that'd be a bad day right there. Harry Dude says, Sam, look up throne thumpers. Drummers use them to feel the bass frequencies on stage through the drum stool. Yes. I've never used one, but I imagine that would be kind of cool. You hit the kick and it vibrates your chair. Daniel's laughing. Game Shark says, will the finished speaker go in your car? Yes, it will. I have one in there now. It's one that I built years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Actually, I think 15. Pretty sure somewhere around there. It's just destroyed. The speaker and the box isn't the right size. It's just a bad setup and sounds terrible, and I'm tired of it. That's why I'm building a new one. So, cool. Well, right on, guys. Last minute. Questions, comments, suggestions. So, again, this weekend, if you need to rebuild the carburetor in your lawnmower, tear it off, take it apart, clean it out, put it back together, this video is for you. It's easy to do. If you've never done it, there's nothing in there to be afraid of. We're going to walk through the whole process this weekend as we tear the thing apart, identify a few problems, and get everything back up and running. So stay tuned. That one will be out Saturday. And then the following week will be this build. So if you don't want to miss those, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. And, I can't believe that the channel is slowly approaching the 100,000 subscriber mark. And for that, I want to say thank you because it's all you guys. You guys are awesome. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out with these lives. Really is the highlight of my week to be able to sit and hang out with you. As much fun as it is to build things or to be working on projects. A lot of times it's just me sitting in front of the camera, and the camera doesn't comment back. It just does what it's supposed to do. So I really enjoy being able to take some time and hang out with everyone and see what you guys are up to and just brainstorm, talk about stuff. It's always an open, random conversation. You never know. today, this week is kind of stereo and different things, and it's awesome. So thank you to all of you. I really, really, truly appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to all of the next ones coming up. So let's see. Sam says, thanks for the fantastic stream. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Game Shark says, what day and time? For the video will be out this Saturday morning. For the videos that I release, the project videos, they come out on the weekend. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, we do these live streams, and I'd love to have all of you back Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. It's make sure you do the conversion from Mountain Time to figure out what it is wherever you are. I hope that helps. But you want to get notifications, like I said, just hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and make sure you have the notifications on, and hopefully you get the notifications in time. Jimmer says diesel heater video was excellent. Thank you, Jimmer. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a few other ones on online that kind of show that process, but lately especially these ones that I've been doing, I really am trying to go in depth with, or try to really cover all the aspects in there. So it's really not hard. And I imagine yours are probably identical pretty much to taking this one apart, even though might be a different brand, but there's not a whole lot in there. Big Max says, I have a big speaker box. Right on, Big Max. Game Shark says, will you be doing a car video showing the setup? Probably not too much. The video is mainly about building this box. I'll show it in there, but I don't really have a super complex setup. The only thing I'm running other than the head unit is an aftermarket amplifier. I will show this in the vehicle, but probably not super in depth on my whole setup. Like I said, because it's not too crazy. Dr. Petrovich, if I wired my 8 ohm speaker in parallel, the total will be 4 ohms. Parallel, I believe parallel cuts it in half. Series will double it, I think. I believe so. Look it up though. You can look it up and just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure you're right. I believe parallel cuts it and series doubles it. I'm going to actually be doing that for this because I had to get a dual voice coil speaker because I couldn't find a 4 ohm speaker with the wattage rating that I needed. So I had to get a dual voice coil at 2 ohm. So I have to wire it in series, I believe, to get a 4 ohm load. Jimmer says, I suggest you get back out here and help me with my own channel. Man, that would be awesome. Scott says, what software did you create the video for this weekend? Aha! Actually, Scott, I ended up using Vegas. I'd forgotten I'd already started the edit in Vegas. So I just finished it in there. I did get the update and everything installed for DaVinci. And am going through and fine-tuning all of that editing process. So, let's see. Sam says, be safe, everyone. Jimmer says 11 a.m. Eastern. Robert says, I've never seen a diesel heater that small before. It was cool. Yeah, those things are awesome. They're great for a lot of applications. A lot of guys build them to travel with, have them in their Jeeps or whatever for camping and stuff like that. Camper vans, all kinds of stuff. Bunk heaters and tractor trailers. They are cool. Game Shark says the speaker going in a Trans Am. That would be awesome. I wish it was going in a Trans Am. Robert says, everyone have a great week. Stay safe and healthy. Paul says, have a great week, everyone. Yes, it's 4 ohms in parallel. Okay, yeah, so series doubles it. Parallel cuts it. Yeah, so I need to run these in series. Run this one in series. Paul says, formula for calculating the impedance in parallel. Multiply the 2 loads, then divide by the sum of the 2 loads. Yes, I've been researching that. Scott says, awesome. Dr. Petrovich, thank you, Paul. And Sir Homebill, well, thank you, my friend. Big Max, I have 14,000 watts? Holy moly, dude. Wow. 14,000. I got 325. That's going to be going to this. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. You guys, I gotta get to work. I'm waiting for the UPS truck. He hasn't showed up yet, but I gotta get to editing, get to some upcoming projects. So thanks again. Hope you guys all have an awesome week. Get out in your shops, build some cool stuff. Get out there, get your hands dirty, make some things, have some fun, be safe. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. We're out of here. Elvis has left the building.